All right, everybody, this video is on accumulation. So we want to talk about how when we're integrating something, we're actually seeing how something accumulates, as something adds up. So if you think about integrating the rate of stuff, like let's say, for example, you integrate the rate of coffee dripping, right? Or oil, you could say, or something like that, anything like that. If you integrate that, the rate of coffee dripping through a coffee filter, or the rate of oil leaking from a BP tanker, okay, you'll get the amount of stuff. So when you integrate the rate of stuff, you'll get the amount of stuff. That's kind of the easiest way to say it. So it's the area under the curve, but it's also the accumulation of something. So we have a grocery store that opened, and it has 50 pounds of bananas on the display table. That's exciting. Customers are removing bananas at this rate, that giant equation. In recent years, they've made the functions harder to type in on the calculator, just because that's what they wanted to do. So it might be a little tricky to type in on the calculator, so just make sure that's a skill that you have, okay? You should have a graphing calculator in front of you. Feel free to grab one if you need it. We want to measure this in pounds per hour. Is pounds per hour a rate? Cool, so this is a derivative. This is a rate. Okay, and I'm going to call this y1, because I'm going to put this in y1 anytime now, okay? So now we have hours after the store opens. And after it's been open for 3 hours, employees have to add bananas. Employees have to add bananas to the counter. Otherwise, we run out of bananas, right? That'd be bad. So after the store has been open for 3 hours, they're going to add bananas at another rate. Okay? We'll call that y2. So now we're going to add bananas at this rate. So some bananas are going away, some bananas are coming in, and this is measured in pounds per hour, which is another rate, and T is the number of hours. Okay? So let's just say we have those into our y1 and y2 in our calculator at some point. This is a calculator question. You can use a calculator on it. The first question is, how many pounds of bananas are removed from the display? Removed. So I got to know whether that's going to be y1. I think that's y1, right? So the removing bananas, I guess this is the rate out. This is the removed bananas. Customers are taking the bananas. They're going away. We're removing bananas. So we're just going to want to take y1 and just integrate it from 0 to 2. That's it. That's going to probably be, it could be a positive number, it could be a negative number, depending on how they look at it. You know what I mean? It's probably going to be a positive number of bananas they took away. I know that's a little confusing, but this is all we really need to do. So let's go ahead and go to y1 on our calculator and just integrate that. So here it is, it's already in y1. Oh, that's not good. Okay, that would be really important. Thank you. So we'll go to second insert and we'll hit X. Does this look better? Okay, thank you so much for that. Saved us quite a bit of heartache. Okay, so let's say that that's good. Now we will clear this. Sure, and we'll clear this. I guess we don't really need all that space down there anymore. And we'll go to Math 9. And we will integrate from 0 to 2 variables, y variables. This is not a negotiable skill, by the way. y1. We just have to know how to do that. And so I believe it's going to be 20.051. 20.051. I'd like to check my answers as I go. That's right. So we go back. And the first question wasn't too bad, 20.051 pounds. They didn't say units, so you're probably going to be all right without units. You need the integral and the answer. You're going to get 2 points for that question. This is going to be 2 points. 1 point here for the integral and 1 point here for the answer. Just like that. Okay, this is probably going to be your first or second question on the exam. A rate, sometimes a rate with a table. Find f prime of 7. Using correct units, explain the meaning of it. So we have f, so I think we can just type in, right? I think we can just type in y prime 1, basically, right? Like y1, I guess. I don't know how to say this better. But f prime of 7 is certainly something we should be able to get from our calculator. Now, probably more important is explaining what the heck that means. But let's figure out what f prime of 7 is. So again, f prime, f is y1. So we just want to take the derivative of that. Math 8, the derivative of, y1. And I think it was 7, right? So we have negative 8.120. Negative 8.120. So I have negative 8.120. Let's make that decimal a little bit better. Okay. What does that mean in the context of the problem? So let's think about it. The rate at which they are taking bananas is doing what? Going down. So the rate at which, so this is basically saying, is this 7 hours or 7 minutes? Hours, right? Can anybody confirm that? 7 hours? Okay. 7 hours, this is how I would say it, after opening. And this is where your mind starts to bend a little bit because we're talking about the rate of a rate. 7 hours after opening, customers, or I guess the rate customers take bananas, B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Okay, good. We can say thank you to, who's that? Gwen Stefani. Thank you to Gwen Stefani. So the rate customers take bananas is decreasing. Okay. By, I guess would be great, would be to say by 8, or you could say negative. They're not going to really care. This many pounds per hour each hour. Let me say that one more time. 7 hours after they open, people are not as hungry for bananas. When that door opens, people are flying in there. They're taking all the bananas away. Now, the demand for bananas has gone down a little bit, okay? And they're taking less bananas per hour each hour. 7 hours after they open. That's pretty weird, but that is what the question's trying to get at, the rate of a rate. Is the number of pounds of bananas on display increasing or decreasing at time 5? Well, here's an issue. The amount of bananas is actually going to be, right? The amount of bananas, we get the bananas that are coming in, and we get the bananas that are coming out, right? Does that make sense? Like they're stocking it now. At this point, they're stocking it at time 5, right? Let's make sure. Believe they are stocking the bananas because the display is getting, embarrassingly low. So we've been open for 3 hours at least, and now they're adding these bananas. It's going to be a tricky question. So let's think about what's happening here. We want to know if the bananas are increasing or decreasing. Would that mean that the rates at 5 and the rate at 4, let's just figure this out. I think that the bananas that are coming in, they're coming in at this rate, f of 5. Does that make sense? That's just the rate at which bananas are coming in 5 hours into the day, correct? Oh, but these are the removed bananas. Sorry, I almost messed that up, right? So if that's okay with you, you see my mistake? Those are the bananas that are being taken away, right? They're taking away a positive number of bananas. Pretty weird, yeah? I remember this question being pretty hard. Like my students took this question and they were very sad about it. Okay, and bananas are coming in also. And that's going to be G of 5. I believe that's all we need to do. We just need to take the rate at which the bananas are coming in and take away the rate at which the bananas are coming out, okay? So let's just think about it in logical terms, okay? We've got the people that are stocking the shelves, they're bringing in 5 bananas, right? Every hour, I don't know, every minute they're bringing in 5 bananas, who knows, right? They're putting bananas on the shelf, yes? Meanwhile, people are taking the bananas off the shelf. Is the situation on the shelf getting better for the employees, I guess, or getting worse? That's the question, right? Is the amount of bananas going up or is it going down, right? So maybe they're stocking it, 5 bananas, here's 5 more bananas, but the customers are they're just hitting it like wildcats, okay? And they've taken away 7 bananas. Every time they bring 5 bananas, boom, 7 bananas is gone. This is just an example. 5 bananas come in, 7 bananas go out. 5 bananas come in, 7 bananas go out. Not good. We're going to run out of bananas. Okay, so let's just figure out G of 5 and F of 5. So here we go to our calculator. I guess the best way to do it for me is to usually go to the graph. And I usually just go to the graph and I usually just hit trace 5. And that should be F of 5. 13.796. 13.796. If it's okay, I'll do this. Okay. That's the bananas coming in. Or sorry, is that the bananas coming in or going out? Who knows? That's the blue one, which is hopefully coordinated. Can you imagine? How annoying would that be? Oh man, look at this. How mad does that make you? The blue is the red and the red is the blue. How great is that? So maybe I'm going to get rid of that picture because I think it's going to ruin our lives. Okay. 13.796. I just got to write that number down. 13.796. These are the bananas being removed. Is that okay? Okay. Let's try Y2. I go to the graph. I hit trace. I want to make sure I'm on Y2. You see, you can just hit the arrow. And there's Y2, 11.533. If you see a mistake, please let me know. 11.533, or if you think you see a mistake. Sorry about the color again. Let's get that out of there. That can't be that color. That's definitely got to be blue. Okay? That's the bananas coming in. Are we winning or losing this battle with the customers? We are losing this battle. And I think it comes out to negative 2.263. That's right. So I guess this is actually going to say negative 2.263. That's the number that we want, but that's not really what they're asking. They're asking if it's increasing or decreasing. So is the display going down or going up? Well, it's going down. So C is going to be decreasing since, and you can just say what you did. You can just say G of 5 minus F of 5 is negative. If you want to say that, that's totally fine. Okay? G of 5 minus F of 5. Now the last question, how many pounds of bananas are on the table at t equals 8? Tricky question again, because the bananas start being removed in the beginning, but it takes some time before they start to restock them, yes? So there's a little bit of a offset, I guess you could say. Is that a good term for it? So that's a full credit answer. So let's just see how many points we've scored now. We presumably have scored 2, 2, and 2. We scored 2 points here, and we scored 2 points there, and there's 3 points for part D, left hanging. How many pounds of bananas are on the display? So let's talk about what we started with. When the store opened, were there any bananas? Yeah, there were 50 pounds. So I'm going to go ahead and write 50, okay? And then I'm going to say the people came into the store, and we're going to take away that stuff, and then we're going to add, right? So this is the stocking, okay? Stocking. I don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm trying. This is them stocking. This is the customers taking away. You don't need to write this, but if you want, it sometimes can help. Customers are buying them, they're going away. People are stocking it, they're coming in, right? So let's figure this out. I'm going to try to move this so that it's here so I can see what's going on. I think I got it. Let's see. Good. Okay. And I'm a little overwhelmed by all this information, so I'm just going to go like this. Make it a little bit better, I guess. Okay. So what we have is, dang, I don't have the original question. That's very sad. Let me just get the original question so that I can put it underneath here. If you think you can get it, great. Give it a go. Give it a go. So we'll just copy this. I think I have the original question here. There it is. Beautiful. And we are back in business, I think. Okay. All right, so do they start taking the bananas right away as soon as it opens? Yeah, right, from 0 to 12. So they want to know how many bananas we have at time 8. So I think since the time is 8, I think this is going to be an 8 and this is going to be an 8. Make sense? We're either adding or removing bananas for 8 hours. We're taking away bananas for the full 8 hours. And this is going to be f of t, which I think that was a red. That was a poor choice on my part, but that's that. That's all the bananas the customers are taking for those 8 hours. There were already 50 bananas there, so we're adding to that, or we're taking from that, I'm sorry to say. And then we're adding bananas, but when do we start adding bananas? Right away, or do we wait a while? We wait how many hours? 3 hours. So 3 hours, we just let that display get decimated, right? And then 3 hours in, we start to add bananas. And that is going to be g of t, right? Which was blue, so we'll make it blue. Okay. That should be good. Did anybody get an answer for that? 23.347. That is correct. Let's assume that our calculator skills are there. That's going to be 23.347 lbs, okay, pounds. And that's all they want. They just want that number, I guess. Now they're going to ask you to have an integral. That's going to be a point. That's going to be a point. And that's going to be a point. And that's it. Those are your 9 points for that question. Okay. All right. I'm going to end the video there. And hopefully it made some sense. Do you need me to type in this to the calculator or not really, right? No? Okay. Cool. All right. Well, we'll see you guys in the next video. Smash that like button. Subscribe. Peace.